So today we're going to be talking about why you really need a realtor when you go to a builder. Most people feel like, oh, I'm just going to walk in the model home and I'm going to talk to the sales rep, which they're all fabulous. We love all of them. We work with them every day. But they just walk in the door and they think they're saving money when they're not using a realtor. How are they not saving money, Jennifer?
Well, I think that, first of all, let me just say, I think what happens a lot of times is they feel like if they give the realtor's name, that they're potentially hurting their bottom line
Right.
if they're looking at buying a
They're
new
saving
build.
themselves money.
The reality is you're not. Our compensation is already built into their sales prices typically. So you're not saving yourself any money. They're not going to make any special offer or deal for you by not using an agent. Where it becomes so important is because, like everything else, we're there to be your voice. We are there to protect you. The sales counselors, as fabulous as they are, they work for the builder. We work for you.
Mm-hmm. And so we are going to be doing things like looking over the contracts, helping you through your inspection process, helping you decide if that upgrade is going to be something that's going to help you. And when you go to your realtor, you sign a buyer's rep agreement. And so you've agreed to pay that realtor that money to serve you. And so why not allow that builder to help you and to pay that for you?
Yes. And one of the things that we want to point out is, yes, we will look over the contracts. However, if you are doing a new build, the contracts have been written by their attorneys.
They're
It's not
very
a
different.
typical contract that we use in real estate on a resale property. So there's nothing we can do. We can't go in and change it. There might be things that have been provisions that have been written into that contract and we can question and ask about, but most times you can't change a contract. It's just like a truck contract. We can't go in and change it. Their attorneys have written that contract and it's to protect them. And then a lot of times the biggest question we get on new builds is, are inspections important?
Yes. And they're very important, as we know, because you have to remember your contractors are, as fabulous as they may be, they're electrical, they're plumbing, they're AC people. We all make mistakes. And so you want to make sure that that inspector is coming in and checking that house and making sure that everything is working correctly.
Yeah, 100%. And let's be for real, they're building thousands of houses. And although they have construction managers, they can't be there every second of every day. So they're not watching or overseeing everything being done. And they are calling in numerous different contractors. So just because you have one certain contractor in there on one day, that doesn't mean that same contractor is going to come back. So things do get overlooked. And it is super important for our inspectors to look at those properties, because usually you're going to have a great clean inspection. But what's good about it is that there are issues. They literally do the inspection report and they hand it over to the builder, and that builder then is responsible for fixing what's on that inspection report.
But do remember that with your truck inspectors, they have to run by the guidelines of the Texas inspection through TREC. And so sometimes when you're building a home and they're building in certain areas, Angleton, Clute, Lake Jackson, wherever it may be, those codes may be a little different than what is on the truck inspection. And so those city codes always trump those state codes. The other thing that you have to realize is some of the communities, especially in the Angleton area, are outside of the city limits.
Yes.
So they're not being overseen by the city inspectors.
Right.
And so that gives you one more opportunity to make sure that the things that they are doing are going by the guidelines.
And that's what's wonderful with having an agent. We help you navigate that. We're going to help you look through the inspection report. We're going to be the one discussing it with the builder. It's not easy. It's not easy to talk to somebody about their product. They're very proud of their product, rightfully so. You're spending a lot of money on their product. We want to make sure you're getting the best for your dollar.
And so what about upgrades? Because we know that some builders, not all of them, offer many upgrades, different upgrades with their new builds. And so how do you think that helps us?
I think, again, it helps us to let you know what is actually going to put value back into that home. A lot of times upgrades is aesthetic, and that's great. If you want to spend the money on aesthetically changing a light fixture out, or putting in tile floor throughout the home versus having carpet, in the bedrooms. A lot of that is aesthetic. In other words, it's not going to actually bring additional value to the home. An appraiser's not going to go out and say, oh, okay, yeah, that light fixture was a $3,000 upgrade. I'm just using that number. And so therefore I'm going to give you an additional $3,000 towards your value. It just doesn't work that way.
And most builders, when you're doing upgrades, they're going to want that money up front too, because they don't make any value with the appraisal.
Yes.
So let's talk about the upgrades in the appliances, for example.
Yes. So a lot of times, a lot of the builders will offer an incentive or an upgrade for a better appliance package. They're usually going to put in, depending on the builder, the bare basic appliance package. It still is beautiful and it's great. But they'll want to try to upsell maybe the panels that, or the color that match the cabinets or whatever the case may be. Again, is it something that's going to necessarily bring additional value? It brings value to you as a buyer, but not necessarily value to the home.
And I think the main point is that the realtors, whether it's us or any other realtors, we're in your corner. We are the ones that are fighting for you through the entire process. We are going to make sure that you get to closing. We are going to work alongside their lender, if you're using their lender for the incentives or with the lender that you've chosen, to be able to get you through that entire process and try to make it as smooth as possible. I feel like, too, if you're in the process of building that home with that builder, then it even becomes more important to make sure that things are being done correctly and that you're being walked through that process.
If you're in the market and you're buying a new home, whether it's a new build or it's a resale home, please call us, reach out to us. We'd love to answer questions. We'll help you out with whatever we can, and we can help guide you to the right path.